cattle producers in Oklahoma are trying to rebuild after years of drought cut into the size of the herd. However, as Michelle Rook reports, those producers who climate-proofed their operation in advance fared the best. Ranchers got to see that firsthand as part of the Trust in Beef Sustainable Ranchers Tour near Stillwater.
Sustainability practices are helping U.S. cattle producers to climate-proof their operations, but it's also a priority throughout the U.S. beef supply chain, from gate to plate. Mother Nature continues to present the biggest challenge for Oklahoma ranchers, but they learn from each other the best ways to climate-proof their land as part of the Trust in Beef Sustainable Ranchers Tour.
Weather's always a factor, but you know, when you really apply good conservation practices on the ground, you can start helping mitigate that some. And so that's the reason we're here, is to see what practices people are putting on the ground.
That includes the grazing management Bertram cattle use to help them avoid culling the herd after 3 years of historic drought.
By rotationally grazing or letting these pasture areas rest, we've just done better to regenerate the land and help those pastures rest, and really have done our cow herd by maintaining those body condition scores and not having to use a lot of feed. They rotate cattle. A lot of the old fences.
Producers attending the tour saw how Bertrams rotate cattle every 2 weeks using conventional fencing and a new technology, virtual fencing. A transmitter around the cow's neck emits a warning sound to keep her in the correct grazing area, and it aids in monitoring animal health.
Rotating cattle without a permanent fence, just like our dog's in the yard and he can't go beyond that boundary. We're trying that same concept with cattle. Where is that fence boundary? Can we move cattle with the click of a mouse on the computer? Where are they at? Is that cow having a calving problem?
Beyond that, Bertrams attribute much of their success to data analysis. Clay's father, Mike, started Farm Data Services 43 years ago, a management accounting firm.
And we're looking at return per acre, return per animal unit. We're looking at their crops. We're looking at the crop insurance programs. Crops are going to plant. We analyze that. We look at the government programs. We look at how does LRP and marketing work. It is a complete approach to that.
That data helps them make the changes they need in the operation to stay viable long term.
Sustainability is great, but the first leg of sustainability's got to be bottom line profits. Without profits, there is no sustainability.
Data is really foundational in being able to describe your ecosystem, your environment, your production outcomes and things of that nature. That way you can use that to make better decisions down the road.
Trust in Beef partners also participated in the tour and shared how they're working with producers to lower their carbon footprint.
But being able to connect the data all the way back from the rail all the way back to the farm of origin and share the data on animal performance and ultimately the impact of practices on their carbon intensity is where we're planning to go over time.
Genetics and sustainability play a key role together. For any operation to be sustainable, they have to be profitable, and that's where genetics come into play.
The more efficiently we can grow and raise an animal, the more sustainable we are, not just from a profitability standpoint, but even from an environmental standpoint.
Animal handling and welfare is another pillar of sustainability, and the tour provided a chance for participants to get BQA certified.
Beef Quality Assurance is a program that really addresses the piece around the animals. And it also touches the people and the environment, because we do cover, how to take good care of the animals in the context of the environment they're in.
Retailers like Lopez Dorado, one of McDonald's main suppliers, also shared how ranchers fit into their sustainability goals.
We're going to have to start supplying the same amount of food and raising the same amount of animals, but with less resources. I mean, clearly the drought is one indication of how it is getting harder and harder to produce the same amount of product every year. So engagement like this, engagement with industry, is so important.
Oklahoma Secretary of Ag Blaine Arthur says producers have been using climate smart ag for years, and it's critical for the state's future.
For producers, as we know that we're going to have to produce more with less, and so that's what we've got to look at, the natural resources that we've got available to us. How are we taking care of those, and then how can we better utilize those?
And this paradigm shift benefits both producers and consumers.
And all those regenerative practices do play into the overall best quality product, best for the environment, and the whole world does benefit from well-managed lands.
Which will help sustain the entire U.S. beef chain for the future. I'm Michelle Rook for U.S. Farm Report.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Well, coming up, continuing to call attention to the plight of farmers in Ukraine. See what one well-known philanthropist and fellow farmer is doing to raise awareness. Next.